Okay, this video is going to go along with worksheet 8-5. We're going to, again, be solving quadratics and using it with, applying it into some applications. The first thing you should have seen is that it says the length of the picture is 2 times the width. Well, right here it's already labeled. It has the width, and it says 2 times the length. It's saying the area is 72. Okay? Write an equation to find the dimensions of the picture frame. Well, we know that area is length times width. So I need to multiply these two things right here. So I've got 2w times w. That's length times width. And that equals the area, which is 72. So now that we have it set up, now we need to go and solve for w. Solving for w is the same as solving for x. 2w times w is 2w squared equals 72. Now you can do this one a couple different ways. One way would be to divide both things by 2. W squared equals, what is that? That goes in there 3 times, 36. 36. Then to get w, you would take the square root of 36, which is 6. Okay? That's one way. Another way to go through and do this is 2w squared equals 72 is to solve it to 0. May set it in standard form. Subtract 72 from each side. You get 2w squared minus 72 equals 0. Go to y1 and put that into y1 and find your zeros. See where the y numbers are 0. I'll do that on the next one in a minute, but you're going to find it at -6 and 6. Well, why can't -6 be an answer? It's not a width. You can't have -6 inches in a width. So it always has to be the positive number. So the width right here, the W is 6. What's the length? It's 2 times the width. So 2 times 6 is 12. So your width should be 6 and your length should be 12. Let's try the next one. Watching the video, you should pause it and come back and see how you do. Others of us in here should already have this done. It says the length of the pool frame is 3 times the width. It's already labeled on my picture. The area is 675. So my area is 675. Write an equation and solve to find the dimensions of the pool. Length times width. 3w times w equals 675. Well, now we need to solve. I have 3w squared equals 675. Now, you could subtract 675 from each side and get 3w squared minus 675 equals 0. And go and look in your table in the calculator to find where your y numbers are 0. You can do it that way. The other way we can do it is 3w squared equals 675. We can divide by 3. W squared equals, let's see, that goes in there 2 times 225. And to find the width, you need to take the square root of 225. What do you get when you do that? You should get 15. Remember in the calculator, let me pull up my calculator. So in here, you would take the square root second and the squared button, 225, and press enter. It gives you 15. That tells you that the width is 15. W equals 15. So if the width is 15, what's the length? Yeah, it's 3 times 15, which is 45. To do the next one, right here it says the height of the soccer ball kicked into the air was given with an equation. It gave it to you, where h is the height of the ball in feet and t is the time in seconds. According to the graph, how many seconds was the ball in the air? We've done these type of problems before. It starts here, it goes up, and then it comes down, and it lands right here at 6. It was in the air for 6 seconds. After how many seconds was the ball exactly at 40 feet? You come over here to 40 feet. Here's one. Here's the other. It should be at 1 second and 5 seconds. At 1 and 5 seconds. There has to be 2 of them because the ball goes up and then it comes back down. What if I added on to this and said, what was the maximum height of the ball? Where would you look at that? Look for that. The highest point. What's the highest point called? The vertex. So the highest point right here, which would be about 73, it looks like. And that is reached at 3 seconds. The next one, take a minute and answer these questions. So on these again, it says according to the graph, how many seconds was the ball in the air? And it was 2 seconds because it starts here at 0 and the ball comes down, it lands at 2. After how many seconds was the ball exactly 12 feet? You go right here to these 2 spots. We have 0.05, or not, sorry, 0.5 and 1.5. The next one, it says the table below shows some of the values for the function. And it says the roots of the equation are, and it gives us 2 blanks. Well, how do you know where the roots are in a table? When y is 0. So I have it here and here. Remember that this is where your y number is 0. Okay? Roots, what's another word for roots? Zeros, x-intercepts, and solutions. Anytime you ask for any of those, this is what it's looking for. So I have it at -1 and at 4. Number 6 says the graph of x squared plus 7x plus 12 is shown below. Describe the solutions. Okay, describe. I don't want to know exactly what they are, but what they're asking you for is this. First off, how many solutions are there? There are 2 solutions, and what type of numbers are they? I think I heard it. They are 2 negative solutions. That's all they want you to do when you're describing it. You're just saying it's 2 negative solutions. So the next one, it wants us to describe the solutions of this graph. How many solutions are there? So we should write no real solutions. The reason why there are no solutions is because it does not touch the x-axis. It has to touch the x-axis to have a solution, and there are none. Number 8. I think is this the last one on this page? Or is there a backside? Oh, there's back. Okay. All right, it says identify A, B, and C for the equation and solve using quadratic formula. Be very careful because what's the problem? Why can I not do A, B, and C just from this? It's not in standard form. I have to move this 9 to the other side. So I have to subtract 9 from each side. I get 12x squared minus 11x minus 3 equals 0. Now that it equals 0, now I can do it. 12 -11, and -3. Now it says to use the quadratic formula. That formula, x equals -b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Well, the opposite of b, the opposite of -11 is +11 plus or minus the square root b squared, -11 squared, minus 4 times a is 12, times c is -3, all over 2 times a, 2 times 12. Well, I told you that you want to go and do what's underneath. Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. That sucks. Underneath the square root sign first. So I'm going to go to the calculator and put in there, maybe, there we go, -11 squared minus 4 times a is 12, times c is -3, and press enter. I get 265. So you're supposed to have, I'm going to kind of go down here, 11, whoops, why isn't it writing? There we go, 11 plus, my pen's kind of tripping, all right, plus the square root of 265 over 24. Where did 24 come from? 2 times 12. And then I have 11 minus the square root of 265 over 24. Remember when you put in the calculator, we're going to do the whole top part first, then press enter. 265, you should have put it, let's see, you got what? 23. Did you put the negative inside the parentheses? Okay, the -11, the negative has to be inside the parentheses. Now I have 11 plus the square root of 265, press enter, divide by 24. There's one of the answers. It's 1.14. 1.14. Now I go and do the other one. I have 11 minus the square root of 265. Press enter. Divide by 24. And press enter. I get -2.2. I know it says 2.19, but it's -2.2. You have to round it up. Or negative point, sorry. Yeah, -0.22. Okay, let me try and get this in here. -0.22. Let's go to the next one. Take a minute and try and answer these. Okay, on number 9, it says the area of the rectangle is given by the equation. It gives it to you, which is L is the rectangle's length. What is the length of the rectangle? Well, the easiest way to do this, let's set it equal to 0. So I'll add 3 to each side. You get 2L squared minus 5L plus 3 equals 0. The easiest way to do this, because it gives you these answers, is to go with the calculator, go to y equals, and I'm going to put in there 2x squared minus 5x plus 3. And let's find the solutions. Well, one of them right here says, is one of the solutions 2? So I'm going to go and find out if one of it says 2, 0. It says 2, 1. So 2 is not the right solution. Well, I look over here. Darn. Let's see here. Another whole number, which is easy, is 6. If I go up here to 6 and go look, 6, 0 is not in my table, so it's not 6. So the other way you can go and get these decimals, well, one, we could look at the graph and kind of see where it touches. Looks like it touches here between in 1 and 2, somewhere in there. I know it's not 1, 2, 3, 4.5 would be out here, so it's not going to be 4.5. So let's see and look for sure and see if 1.5 works. If I press second window, type in 1.5, then second graph, 1.5 and 0. That shows me one of the solutions because it has a 0. So the answer would be D. Now when you do that though, be careful. You need to go back to second window and change it back to 0 so that your table still goes by once. Okay, so what if we did the next one like that? Let's go into the calculator and put in there 3x squared minus 4x minus 4. Oh, there's still a whole lot going on over here. Let's see. I got to erase. Let me erase the whole thing. Okay, y is... There we go. Let's try this. All right. 3x squared minus 4x minus 4. If I press graph, you can look and see where your roots are. Looks like one is positive, one is negative. One is positive over here, one is negative. Well, let me use the answer choices and look. Over here on A, it says -2. So I'm looking to see if there's -2, 0. Nope. So I don't have to worry about looking for that other one. This one, let's see, we knew that, we just found out it's not -2. Well, look, this answer choice says -2 and +2. D's not the right answer. C says +2. Well, there's a +2, 0. Okay, so 2 is one of them. But these right here doesn't have a +2, so I don't even need to look. Now I've only looked and found one, but it's the only answer choice that has a +2 in there. Next ones. Right here, take a minute and use the same kind of thing I did with the calculator and try and find your roots. Okay, so on number 11, at what points does a graph of f of x equals x squared minus 2x minus 15 intersect the x-axis? Well, when I go into the calculator, put in there x squared minus 2x minus 15, I can first press graph and see how many solutions I have. I see that it crosses in 2 spots. One of them is negative, one of them is positive. So as I go to look, I know that I need to look where they're negative. There's one of them, -3, 0. So one of them is -3, 0. The other one is a positive one, so I'm going to go down and look in the positives. And there it is, 5, 0. 5, trying to write with the mouse, 0. Now we'll do the same thing right here with this next one. It says, what are the roots of the quadratic equation? So I go to y equals, put in there x squared plus x minus 12. I'm going to press graph and look and see first how many solutions there are. There are 2. Now it looks like -1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let's see if I look in the table and find it. Well, I guess I found my positive one there. There's 3, 0. So that has a +3. That has a +3. That is a -3. That's not it. That says -3. That's not it. Then I've got +4 and -4. Well, I know it's not +4 because look right here. It says 8. And we knew when we looked at the graph, so it's -4. Your answer should have been B. The next one, it gives you a graph, and it says determine the number of solutions for the equation. Well, does this one touch the x-axis? No, it does not. If it does not touch the x-axis, there are no real solutions. That's what your answer should be. That is